You've been asking for it, and I am finally here to deliver. Today I'm taking you behind the scenes with me for how I use ClickUp as my project management software inside my social media marketing agency. I'm going to show you my setup, automation, how my team and I work with and without clients, basically everything I've done to customize ClickUp into a very on-brand experience for my clients. If you're new here, hey, I'm Shantae. In 2018, I was a broke single mom that founded my own social media management business. Now here we are today. My business has grown to an agency, and my day-to-day is spent collaborating with my team and mentoring up-and-coming social media managers. If you've seen my video where I'm talking you through the different project management systems that you can use, then you'll know that I started using Google Sheets, then to Asana, and then over to ClickUp as I started to grow my team. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to make it very clear. ClickUp is advanced. If you're just starting and it's just you and a couple of clients, you do not need something as fancy as ClickUp. You can still definitely use it, and I'm of the mind that you don't need to upgrade any processes unless they're broken or you've outgrown them. As my mentees start to scale with 2 to 3 team members and a growing client roster, they tend to move over to ClickUp because of the organization and automation capability. Some of these features that I'm about to show you are only available on their paid plan, so keep that in mind as we walk through this. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it. I use my ClickUp Workspace in all areas of my business, not just for my social media management clients, but also the mentorship side of my business where I'm working on courses, my podcasts, and giving feedback and critiques to my mentees. I have 5 spaces, one for each area of my business. Admin. This is where the template for the client ClickUp space lives, plus our onboarding and offboarding SOPs that my client concierge follows whenever we need to onboard or offboard a client. Myself and my client concierge are the only 2 people that have access to this specific space. Then I have a client space, and this is where we work with all of our clients. They each have their own folder within the space, and that's where we'll have our clients' content, communication, reporting, and everything else they need there. I'll show you more about that in a little bit. Then I have my team space. I have multiple people on my team that work on each of our clients' projects. So we have a space dedicated specifically to content creation and our workflow around that. Plus, this is where our team resources are, the content calendar, and our SOP. I also have my mentorship space, and this is where I plan up-and-coming projects, where I worked on my new courses. They're out now. Not so subtle plug. My template shop, and review feedback requests that my mentees submit from the courses. I also have one for my podcast, and this one is mostly managed by my podcast manager. But this is where we plan out upcoming episodes, chat about guest collabs, and where my client concierge and also my VA can pull graphics and audio from just to make sure we're running smoothly as a machine. I have my client template that has 2 lists inside of it. One that is client-facing and one that is team-facing. My client only has access to the client workspace, and then my team and I have access to the team workspace. Inside the team workspace is where we store things that the team will need to reference to create and support this client, like completed onboarding questionnaires, a shortcut link to the client's Google Drive folder, the onboarding strategy I've created, a list of research keywords, and then we have reoccurring tasks set up so that we can be reminded when the monthly invoice is due and the results reports are due. When we onboard a new client, my client concierge duplicates this entire space over into our client space, and then she sets it up and customizes it for each specific client. This includes customizing their welcome packet, pre-onboarding homework, content planning, and then making sure the team has easy access to all of the things that they're going to need inside the team workspace. So the way that I get my clients into this ClickUp space is by sending them an invitation. Most of my clients have not used ClickUp before, so it can be a little overwhelming, which is why I find it helpful to film a welcome video and embed it in the Start Here task so that they can click on that, watch the video, see what it is that they need to do. Normally, they don't have any content when they're first starting off, so it's very easy and manageable. We just have a few tasks for them to sort through here. If you are using Google Chrome, there is a record clip tool that you can use. Otherwise, you can use something like Loom to record it and then link it to them in there. When you're recording, you can hide the sidebar by toggling it right there so they don't see the whole thing and it's just the space that they're going to be accessing. So the way I invite them is I go into settings, sharing and permissions. Then you want to type out their email address and hit invite. And instead of member, I like to do guest, and then they're invited to just the client workspace, and the guest seats are free. You don't have to pay for them. So that's the most cost-effective way. And you can also change what type of permissions they have, whether they have full access, where they can just edit, where they can comment only or view only. I don't recommend view only because they won't be able to give you any feedback. So depending on who your client is and what you'd like them to do, you can select there, and then you just hit the invite button and it will send them an email inviting them to either plug their ClickUp into your space or create an account, which is a very easy couple of steps to create an account, and they're able to get in pretty quickly. Once your clients are in, I recommend setting up a guide for them so they know what type of notifications they should have turned on, because ClickUp can really bombard you with notifications if you don't have things set up the way you want them to. So you can go to notification settings, and then when it comes to what you're getting emailed about, what you're getting mobile up notifications about, like there's a lot of different things. And so if you tell them, hey, you only need to have such and such on. So like if I assign a task to you or you get tagged, that's the only thing you need an email notification on. Otherwise, turn everything off, because I have had feedback from clients that they get overwhelmed because of how much they're getting emailed from ClickUp. Now let me show you how we present content to clients. Here's where we submit content. So we have a post title, we have a status, assignee, posting date, due date, and content type. So I'll just open this up so you can see what this would look like. So the post title, it's what we reference here. It's usually the concept or the topic of the post. We have a link right here to the Google Drive. So this, for example, is a reel. So we will have them upload the videos that we request directly into the Google Drive folder that's linked there. We'll have the audio link here for them, the concept, the text that is going to go on the reel because we edit the reels ourselves, the reel cover if we have pre-created one, or if we're going to do a screen grab, and then we give them details about what type of videos we need. And then in here is where we will write out the caption and the hashtags so they can see those. We also like to let them know what type of content it's going to be, so video, image, or carousel. The goal of the content, whether it's awareness, engagement, authority, or call to action, and the status, if it's ready for review, has a revision request, if it's under revision, if it's approved or scheduled, the posting date, so we'll select the date and the time right over here. And then we also have other options where you can enter a collab account if we're doing a collab post, or a tag account if our client wants us to tag somebody, like a photographer, for example, and then a location if we're going to be using a location tag. Now, when our client is reviewing all of this, they have a little checklist here that is assigned to them. So they need to upload the video to Google Drive. Then they'll check that as done when it's ready, and we'll get notified that it's in the Google Drive folder. They also need to finalize the caption and hashtags, and once that's done, they will hit the check there. When those are both uploaded, we will be notified, and we'll also have everything ready for under revision. That's automated. They can also hit approved if it's ready to post, and then we will know. We'll have automations that get us ready to get the post scheduled using our post scheduler. Normally, we just use the Instagram app or Meta Business Suite, and sometimes we also use Cloud Campaign, but that's what it looks like right here. And then we will assign it to our client right here and the date that we need their review or feedback from. Now here's how I customize my ClickUp space to be on brand. So we'll look at the sidebar right here first. You can change this by going to settings in the three dots menu, and then go to color and avatar. So you can select from these colors that they already provide and an icon. There's a ton of them. Or if you just click upload, you can select a photo of your own, which is what I have done to put in one of my brand patterns. And then when it comes to the folder itself, if you click on the little section here, you can select your own color or go to the add and edit screen. And then these are for every single space in your ClickUp, and you can add the new color, label it, change the color to whatever you want, and you can do the same thing. It applies to the same options here within the space itself. Now, whatever color you select is what color this space is going to be. So if I click into Client Workspace, now you can see it's got that pink background, but if I click into the Team Workspace, it has that teal green background. So that's how I customize that sidebar, and I find it helpful to have color coded for what's client and what's team, just so we can visually make sure that we are separating things out. Then when it comes into the actual space here, I like to have a view, so you can adjust your views here. You can set them up right there and select what you want. I like to have one that has all of the tasks. So it has our onboarding stuff and then the workspace stuff, and then the content will all be here sorted by month. I also like to have a calendar tab. So once we actually do have content going out, it will show the tasks on the dates that they're actually going to be posted, so that clients can just have an overview of here's what's going out, kind of a visual. I also like to have a chat tab. So this is basically like a Slack message type of situation where you can nest comments, you can just tag each other and have quick chats if it's, you know, something that doesn't necessarily have to do with anything that you have as a task. So I like to use that. And then I like to have an assigned tab where it's sorted by me, or, you know, the person who is currently signed in, so that they can see quickly what they're assigned to, what needs their review, if it's a comment, if it's a task, if there's checklists, just so that they can do that. Now, when it comes to this view, right in here to edit this section, it is the description space. So if you click right here, you're able to edit it. And I added the button by typing / and then it'll give you a bunch of options here. So I just hit button. You can add the title, the URL, you can select from colors here, and the button alignment. And so that's how I have that in there, and it links to their Google Drive folder. You can also, you know, add a banner, an image banner, or little instructions in there if you want. And then when it comes to the labels of the spaces, you can go to Group Options, Manage Statuses, and then here is where you can adjust all of the different statuses. So I have one for all of the months so that our tasks are grouped via month. Then I have a workspace, and then I have an onboarding, and you can adjust these just by going to change color here. You can select from here, or you can use the eyedropper tool, and it will allow you to enter in your own hex code. So that's how I've done that, to have my own custom colors. And you can also rearrange them based on how you want to show them. Like if you wanted your onboarding, it's actually kind of the opposite. So I'll show you. If you want your onboarding down at the bottom, you actually want to rearrange it so that it's at the top of the active statuses. What we're seeing over here, the way that you can customize these is by using custom fields. So you'll go over to the plus button and add a column, and then you can select a new field or a field from library if you've already created them. So basically right here for the status, I created a new drop down, and you go to add edit options, and then you can adjust basically the exact same thing. Add the color, select the eyedropper tool for your own, enter your options, and then just click save, and then you'll get these. You can also, when you're using automations, tie them directly to a custom field. So like if things are approved, I have an automation that completely removes the client from it and tags my client concierge and sends a due date so she knows it's ready to get scheduled. And then once it's scheduled, she gets unassigned from it, and the client gets notified that the post has been scheduled. For the posting date, so this is another custom field that I created, and it is just a date. So that is extra. And then we have the due date, and that's what clients get reminded by for automations. That's the date that people follow. And then the content type, again, this is a custom drop down that we created. And these are just emojis, text emojis in front here. So you can add whatever custom fields that you want. I recommend just keeping it very simple for your clients. And then when they need to click into things to actually like access audio and such, that's a good way to do it. Otherwise, if you provide too much information at once, they get overwhelmed. So I only show the need to know information in here, and then they can click inside it to do what they need to do. You can also drag and rearrange these and adjust, the width and things like that. So it's very customizable, very easy to build what you want. And so that's how I do it. One of the main reasons that I use ClickUp over any of the other project management softwares out there like Asana or Notion is the customizability of their automation. So here's what I have set up in the client space. We have specific automations set up for the team content creation tasks as it moves through the process. The phases we move through are copywriting, internal review, which means I'm looking at it, then into creation, and it gets segmented into whether it is going to my Reels specialist or my graphic designer, depending on if it's a video piece of content or a graphic image piece of content. Then it goes into internal review again so that I can look at the creative in conjunction with the copy that I already approved. And that's when my client concierge duplicates all of the tasks over into the client-facing folder. She then manually marks the ones that we need content from clients to complete, like videos for Reels, for example, or updated images or product shots. And then that stays in a separate area in the team space so my Reels specialist can keep an eye on it and know when the client uploads videos so they can edit that pretty quickly. I have automations set up so that the correct person is getting tagged with correct due dates on it automatically, so it's fewer clicks for me and it's just a lot more automated. It also removes people who don't need to be watching the status or receive notifications about it anymore. For example, my copywriter, once I approve the copy, she gets untagged from that task, and my graphic designer or my video editor get looped in, and now they're the ones seeing the notifications come. It also auto-assigns due dates to the specific person so that they automatically have their updated to-do list for that week. And all I have to do to get that set up is click one button because I have the automations already set up. There's also an automation to send past due reminders in case one of my team members falls behind and needs a reminder, because we're all human and it happens sometimes, so having that automated is really helpful. And that's how my team and I use ClickUp for my social media marketing agency. We've been using this for a few years now, but we found that this system seems to be what's working best for us, at least for now. If you use it differently, comment below, let me know, because I would love to hear about it. Hope you found that helpful. You can subscribe here on YouTube, get daily tips Monday through Friday over on Instagram, and get details on my mentorship program, template shop, privately hosted community, and my free guide to the 35 best places to find social media management clients on my website. They're linked in the description. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.